It's Sunday night. I'm sitting in the Atlanta airport. I didn't want the day to get by without getting a video out there for the video project that I'm doing. And today I want to talk about my brother-in-law Walt, talk to my brother-in-law Walt, but I wanted to also just pause and say a few words about why it is that I'm doing what I'm doing. I explained that in a video before I got this started, and you can go back and look at some of the reasons there. But it's a privilege for me to talk to people about what's going on in their lives and how they're feeling about how things are going. And I find that I'm having more and more conversations with people that kind of center around the brevity of life. And this is a one-shot deal. We get one chance at this. And the reality is that none of us ever know. We don't know how long we have. You know, there's a good scripture. It says, "Teach us to number our days that we might gain a heart of wisdom." And I hope that people watching this will be encouraged to think about their day and to think about the people that they're blessed with in their lives, and to say something encouraging and something that affirms other people. I know that I've just spent way too much of my life with my mind and my activities centered around myself, and I'm just getting too old for that. And being a dad has been good for me to learn to be less of a self-centered person. But I want to use the words that I have to build other people up. And I would encourage you to do the same thing. You have no idea what's going on in the mind of a person, what's going on in the heart of a person. And there's a little bit of vulnerability. It takes some courage to encourage other people, but it's worth it. Have you ever had anybody tell you something encouraging that you wish they wouldn't have said? It doesn't really cost that much. And so I hope that, look, take this idea on, do it yourself. I don't care. If you like this, follow along. And I appreciate that, but I hope that it means something to you. So I want to talk about my brother-in-law, Walt. Walt is the husband of my sister, Elaine, and he's really into his tractors, and he is definitely the go-to guy on local politics. And Walt doesn't mind sharing what he thinks about local politics, and that's not a bad thing. Walt, I want to tell you there's a lot of reasons why I admire you. One of the things that I was thinking about is your steadiness in life, that you've been a person who has you've been willing to dedicate yourself to something, to be an excellent provider for your family, and just to be a person who can move steady on through life. And well, look, honestly, I don't know a lot about your background, but I think that means that you have taken your life to levels that you did not witness and experience. So you being a consistent person, that's probably meant more than maybe you experienced in your life. And I think anytime any of us can provide for other people the things that we haven't necessarily received ourselves in our lives, I think that's pretty special. And Walt, there's also another thing. You are certainly a person who is incredibly capable and very able to be determined. And I can think of something in your life that demonstrates that probably as well as anything, and that is that you were a guy who smoked for years and years, and and you decided you were done with it, and you were done with it, and that was it. And you didn't look back, and it's been a long time ago. I've never been a person who smoked, but I've known other people who have, and I'm sure there are people who are watching who know how addictive nicotine can be and how difficult it can be after you've smoked for a long time to stop. Walt, I think the most admirable thing about you is that you are an amazing father. Walt, you've handled your grief about Sean with a tremendous faith, and that in and of itself is inspiring. I always appreciated the way that you were very involved in all of your kids' lives, and you put yourself completely into the activities that your kids were involved in when they were younger, and you still do that in the ways that you can. You have a stepdaughter who isn't really a stepdaughter, and that's probably one of the best compliments I can give you, meaning that I know that if Brandy were to describe you, I don't think that stepdad would be a word that she would use. I think I've heard Brandy say that she was blessed in her life to have two dads, and I know she never uses the word step when she calls you her dad. So I appreciate you. You're a great husband to my sister Elaine, and I know this video was a little longer, but I hope that you appreciate it as well. All right, take care.